Hi, everybody. Ian Bremmer here, and a quick take to kick off your week. I wanted to spend a few moments talking about a quote I heard from Trump this weekend. Did an interview where he said, "I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think she can have $3 or $4. They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5." And my immediate thought was, this is one of the most anti-American things I have ever heard a U.S. president say. I was very surprised by it, honestly. I heard back from a lot of folks, and they said, well, how about when Trump in the same interview said that he wasn't sure about upholding the Constitution? Isn't that worse? And I'm like, well, yeah, maybe it's worse, but it's not more anti-American. I mean, not knowing how the Constitution works or claiming you don't know how the Constitution works, that may be bad, but it's not anti-American. But saying we shouldn't be able to buy and have all the stuff we want, that's anti-American. We Americans want maximum stuff. I remember growing up with George Carlin, you needed places to put your stuff. When you ran out of places to put your stuff, you had a garage so that you could put your stuff there so you could go out and buy more stuff. This isn't new. We've had this for a very long time. And this is Trump's it, right? He puts his name on planes and buildings. It's not about less, but better high quality stuff. That's other countries. Japan does less amount of stuff, but very, very high quality, takes decades to make that kind of stuff. No, artisans spend their entire lives, sort of on one carving or one piece of chocolate. No. We don't do that. We are a country of 250 breakfast cereals in the cereal aisle, and that's separate from granola. I'm just talking about cereal. This is Trump's it. This is the guy that has turned the Oval Office into Versailles because there wasn't enough gold plating, gold gilding. Nobody reflects the supremacy of American consumption better than Donald Trump. Trump steaks, Trump watches, Trump gold sneakers, Trump coin, more stuff. And look, when he said beautiful baby girls have dolls, that's on brand, right? No question. Not boys. Boys can't have dolls. Boys have action figures, which are basically dolls, but they sound tougher, and they should ideally have guns or pencils. Boys can have pencils. Tonka truck, right? Maybe he didn't have time to think of a Tonka truck. It was a live interview, but a Tonka yellow dump truck. That was my favorite toy without question. As a beautiful baby boy of 11 years old growing up. But either way, the point is not that an 11-year-old beautiful baby girl needs 11 or 20 or 30 dolls. But what if they want 30 dolls? And God forbid that dad, before Liberation Day, couldn't afford 30 dolls, but could only afford 3 dolls. What do you do then? Now that girl only gets a third of a doll. Right? And which part of the doll then? Just the head? I guess just the head, because then at least you can keep an imaginary conversation going on with the doll. You don't want just like the feet. And by the way, Zuckerberg, I think, can help with that, since he's all about AI, so that Americans who don't have as many friends as the average American wants to have can have that many friends. Now, that's super dystopian, but it's not anti-American. That's American. If we can't have as many friends as we want, we should be able to buy those friends, even if they're not real people. That's American. So Trump isn't actually saying we can't have 30 dolls. But Trump is saying it's going to take time with all the tariffs, that we have to be patient. And look, patience is anti-American. You don't elect Trump if you're patient. You elect Trump because you want stuff now. I mean, what is Trump now going to say that America is going to embrace the slow food movement? That's not American. Trump's the guy that won the election after serving at McDonald's, right? And by the way, not serving like at the counter, but serving at the drive-thru, because it's not enough to have fast food, but you have to fast food even faster than you would normally have fast food by going into the restaurant. Trump is the guy that made RFK Jr. eat McDonald's on the Trump plane. Trump's the guy that brought hundreds of thousands of calories of McDonald's for that football team when they visited the White House. We may have some of the world's highest levels of obesity, but if you just give us a minute, we will also have the world's highest consumption of Ozempic. Mr. President, make America great again. Thank you.